Billy, starting the season 1-1. And the thing I want to start talking about first is something fun, something that I don't think any of us saw coming until they made the announcement.
No.
The Wings have a goal horn.
We have a goal horn again.
Not a goal sound,
Full sound.
but a goal horn, not a recording, not an MP, not a horn dot wave, but the Wings have brought back an actual horn, which you'll see on the screen now. I got hyped for it, and I think we were all excited that night to hear it go off. It sounds great, and just immediate impressions. It's not the one from the Joe. It's sound. You can't without having the Joe here to have those sounds reverberate off the walls and the way like it's you can't have the exact same sound unless it's a recording, which credit. Now that I kind of get it, maybe they thought they couldn't, like, oh, people want the sound from the Joe, let's play the recording so it doesn't sound different. And it didn't work. So
No, it
here's
did not.
just this is our new horn. I love it. What were you just on the horn alone? What were your immediate thoughts?
So between the two of us, you obviously have the better ear for things like that. And
I used to have all the goal horns memorized when we were playing NHL like in the early 2010s.
yes, and it wasn't until you like really pointed it out to me how bad the old one was, and I was like, oh man, that is something that you just kind of miss. And I understand that this isn't the exact same, but I mean, to my untrained ear, it sounds so close that I'm just so happy with it. And
It's got
it
the
feels like it
punch
has
of
the heart.
the old one.
Yeah, it has the heart, really.
Right.
And that's what it felt like the other one
the
was
best part of
lacking.
the one about the Joe is it was so loud and it hit you so hard when we scored. This one feels I can't wait to hear it in person. If it sounds that good over the broadcast, I can only if you were at the game, quick, jump down there. Bushy,
Our friend
if
Bushy
you're
was
watching
there.
right now, jump down there. Tell us exactly how you felt about it. I also noticed they brought a podium. Now, I don't know if this is a one-time thing, but we've seen a lot of different teams have some sort of ceremonious way that either a celebrity fan or someone who they're honoring that night can do something to start off the game, whether it be a drum, a bell, a cannon. Now the Wings don't have anything that they could really turn into that, but they had a podium with the goal lights on it and had like a little deal or no deal. Open the button, and I think it was Darren McCarty slams it down and hits it. I hope that sticks around. I think that's cool. But what I want to ask you about is the Wings debuted a goal song, and it was I forget which. It's an Eminem song.
Yep.
What's it called?
I
The
do
actual
not know
song
the
then?
name of it.
But if you heard it at home, it's that na 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 part from one of Eminem's songs. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, it was I liked it, and then I heard it for the sixth time, and I'm like, I don't know if I want this
Oh,
all
really?
year. No,
Really?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If it's something that just has to like win me over a little bit, because it's like playing any sound. Again, to be totally fair, I wasn't able to watch the game live, so I was hearing it through the highlights. So I was hearing it every like other minute, and it was kind of like, all right, this song's kind of a lot, but I could see in the moment why it would be awesome. I'm willing to buy into that. If that can be like a lot of people hate Chelsea Dagger because it's kind of like
Exactly what I was gonna say.
annoying when it's against you. I could buy into that. But if they just want to go the route of just like what if every like week or every game is just another like home Detroit favorite artist or something they play, like, or like if they hit like a Till I Collapse one week. I'm just saying the fact that it's Eminem alone, I thought that was cool. And I thought that was a pretty fun part of it to be like our goal song.
Yeah, I'm cool with it staying the same because I feel like with enough time, it could absolutely be the new Chelsea Dagger. The new
'Cause
when you hear
want
it
me to think.
around, because it's also more popular than Chelsea Dagger, like just in general being played
It's more
across
recognizable
radios.
too. Like
Yeah.
people already know it from outside of the game.
Yep. So just making it that, having it be something like Detroit fans could even like come together. Let's say, I don't know, you're in Florida and there are a lot of red jerseys in the crowd. I'm just saying, maybe they just start chanting it after they score. Maybe the crowd there is so dead that just the just starts coming out
For
from the crowd.
me,
That'd be sick.
for me, at the bare minimum, the longer it went on, I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind if like eventually it flipped into the chorus. The like, this looks like a job for me, because that would also kind of fit. But
Yeah.
anyway, overall, love the horn,
Yep.
love the podium, Love the song. I heard in the highlights that they played the "Hey Hey Hockey Town" song near the end of the game. And if they're willing to bring back the Hockey Town branding, the only thing left for me, bring back the Hockey Town logo for center ice. That's my last request, and then Stevie will have righted the ship and brought us back to Hockey Town. You know, the kind of Hockey Town where you look outside and you're stuck in traffic, but you can look around and you see the Red Wing flags because we're back.
Yep.
That's what it feels like. If you were at the game, let us know. Jump down the comments. Let us know what you think about the goal horn. But a quick, before you skip this part, subscribe, because we are doing watch-alongs again this week. Some of you were here for the watch-along against the Devils. We did it live on stream where basically you guys could come and watch the game with us, and we talked about the game as it was happening. So we'll be doing that for the game against
Pittsburgh and Ottawa.
This week. So, you know, hope to see you there for that. But let's jump into what we've seen so far in the first 2 games of the season. We started with the Devils, a team that we said very hyped up. And if we were going to pick one of these that we're going to win, we thought it would be this one more likely than the Lightning, which, spoiler alert, if you're just catching up, it's not exactly what happened. What did we see in the Devils game?
Oh, man, we saw us get a little exposed for some laziness on defense. Taking some silly penalties from our veterans. That's what was toughest out of that game. But we saw our offense be able to, you know, keep up with one of the strongest offenses last year in the Devils. So we really saw, you know, that entire revamp of the offense come out clicking. And that was really fun to see. But then we did see Robbie Fabry go down into that second game against the Lightning, where, again, we kind of saw the exact same team. We saw another high-flying offense out of ourselves and a defense making mistakes. The number of breakaways and 2-on-1s, even 3-on-1s, I believe that's how Stammer scored one of his goals, was Hedman absolutely froze Husso. There was nothing he could do on the play. Wallman, there was nothing to be done about it. They were going to score the moment that you saw Hedman get the puck. So overall, that means for our team, like, let's just look at our offense, right? And what steps out to me right away is Larkin and Cat are exactly what we said they're going to be. We talked about, oh, Cat's nothing without Patrick Kane. Well, Dylan Larkin's also never played with a scorer like him.
Have you seen what DeBrincat is with Dylan Larkin, though?
Yes.
That's the question. that little sneaky pass, I'm telling you, it was doubted when I said it before. And that was your glimmer. I'm telling you, they're going to turn into an elite duo. It might take all season, and they'll officially be elite next year. But Larkin's going to get to flex that playmaking ability. And Cat's got 3 goals in 2 games to start off the season. Yeah, one was a little weird, but goal scorers score.
Yep.
Goal scorers find ways to score. They put the puck on net, and they find ways to score. They're not all going to be beautiful.
Yep. And the other thing is that I feel like when we start making this comparison, is everyone's like, Larkin doesn't have Patrick Kane's hands. No, he doesn't. But Patrick Kane doesn't have Larkin's speed. He doesn't have his drive to the net. And that's how DeBrincat got his first goal. We were watching with the watch along, and I saw Larkin moving in from the corner, and on the stream, I'm like, drive the net, go, like, take the space that they're giving you right there. He does it. A little scrum happens in front. Puck pops out right to DeBrincat. You created an opportunity. It wasn't just reading a play. It was moving your feet, taking space that was given to you, and making the best out of that. But we have also had our first goal scorer twice in a row be the same person, another person you and I hyped up quite a bit out of our free agent acquisitions. I believe got the highest grade out of our signings with a B+, in Daniel Sprong.
Yep.
He loves to shoot. He hasn't scored off like his shot yet. He scored off his foot, and he scored off a goal being on the line. But that doesn't
offensive
matter.
Awareness.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay.
The
point
dude,
is, he did it.
The dude wants to shoot. We saw it in preseason. We saw it in the videos that we linked for you guys to look back at his previous years. Goal scorers find ways to score. And I'm telling you, this team, it's definitely got some issues, and we'll talk more about them regarding the defense soon. But it seems like the offense is what you hoped for. They're not putting up a ton of goal. Like the first week, it seemed like they were hitting posts, they were creating opportunities, they were controlling the puck. Remove second period from that, but overall, it's what you hope for. A lot of guys were filling the roles that we hoped that they would, and it was fun to watch. It
Yeah.
was fun to watch the power plays. It was fun to watch the puck movement. If a couple, I mean, the whole game is ifs and whats, but if a couple of those that went off the post go in the net, we're having not a totally different conversation, but a much more positive conversation if we're up 2-0 to start the season. But do you want to talk about the defense?
No, not yet. I still want to talk a little bit about this offense, and like we need to still be able to capitalize on some opportunities. And I'm going to look at Raz. We talked about Raz a lot this offseason, and he needs a home. He's a very impactful player when he is enabled. And it feels like we're kind of mixing and matching everyone in that middle six right now through the entire lineup. And it feels like there's got to be a point where you allow him to build chemistry with someone, whether that means you put him at center, whether that means you put him at wing somewhere. Like, give this guy the opportunity. I know he missed 2 beautiful chances in the game against the Lightning, but I just want to see Raz enabled. And that's the end of the offensive discussion.
He's been beefing up too. And it was kind of mentioned in photos where he showed to the Lions minicamp, and you could just see that he had gotten bigger. But seeing him throw someone into the bench like that was kind of like a little first sign of kind of, okay, dude's hitting, dude can move bodies a little bit. It's cool to see. Maybe we're gonna see a different kind of Raymond than we saw in the first
Raymond,
year.
then not Raz. Okay.
Oh, I meant to say sorry.
No, you're totally good. It's also a really good point.
Yeah,
Raymond got bigger, made a big hit, made headlines across the NHL.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe what I was going to lead into was that maybe Raymond's not going to. Maybe we're not going to see the first year Raymond. Maybe there's a different kind of Raymond that fits better with this team, and maybe that's a grittier, power forward kind of grindy goal Raymond. Maybe that fits the role that this team needs.
Yes, moving on to the defense, though, I know that we just talked about how we're moving around our forwards quite a bit. We're moving the defensemen around more, except for Wallman and Sider. Those guys feel pretty solid up at the top, and we fielded 7 defensemen. We won 11 forwards, 7 defensemen against the Lightning. I think purely for the experiment, purely to find like, are Hall and Mata better together than like Petrie Mata? Like, should Ghost go up to the second line with Sherratt? Like, where are these players filling out? And to be honest with you guys, Sherratt's playing fine. Sherratt is absolutely a non-issue for us right now. I find myself more often saying it's a solid play by Sherratt. If you actively look for it, if you actively watch him and put away your narrative in your head, he's performing well. I don't care about your advanced stats. Watch him play. There's got to be some level of intuition versus stats when you are evaluating these players. But the person who is the early shortcomer, I hate it, but it's Jeff Petrie.
Yeah, that one was, I shouldn't say surprising, because if I was going to take a guess, he probably would have been in my 3 or 4 that I thought might have come up a little bit short to start off the season. But Petrie looked, I don't want to be super harsh, but at times just looked brutal.
Yeah.
Like, the one that stands out to me was him just firing the puck up to no one, up to the point, just an easy pass up to, I think it was Hamilton, and it led immediately to a goal. Yep. Immediately. There wasn't anything for it. If it gets past him, it's and it was right after an icing. Yeah. He had just iced it, so they couldn't make a line change. And then he fired it up the boards right after. I think we just won the faceoff. What was the plan there? Get stuck out there again? Like, that was such a weird. Best case scenario, you ice it again and you're still stuck out there. Worst case scenario was what happened, and they just caught your pass and immediately scored. So that was.
Yeah, I believe one of his possessions too, I think it was, he lost the puck in almost every single way you could. Like, what I mean by that is, like, he tried to dump it out and it didn't get out. Then he like had it poked off his stick one time, and then he like got hit, and we were just stuck in our own zone for so long because it was just mistake after mistake after mistake, which, as you know, is, someone who played hockey and being a forward in even NHL 24 pressure system, that starts to add up. And like that gets the offense buzzing as soon as they can keep their feet going. If you have the puck on your stick, you have so much more energy than if you don't. So yeah, you got to get the puck out of the zone. It's how all of your offense is generated. It's how you can relieve the pressure from the defensive zone. And that's been kind of our big problem so far, along with giving up too many odd man rushes and breakaways. I don't know how it keeps happening. It just feels like in both games there have been a breakdown somewhere in the neutral zone. One of them specifically, Mata took a awful shot, and a shot that is inexcusable in the NHL, that you don't just loft a puck to the slot with so many white jerseys of Tampa Bay just like in the way. It was never going to make its way through. Then to be caught flat-footed after you do it to give up a breakaway to Hagel, which I'm not going to hold Husso responsible for like too heavily on that, because we'll talk about him, but we're leaning so heavy on him. Like there are too many opportunities like that happening. And I don't know if that's pairing issues, right? Maybe the
It's
pair, I
early.
don't,
It's
yeah.
important. We've seen 2 games, and by the time you guys watch this, there will have been 3 games. So
Yep.
maybe something will be different, and we'll be happy to immediately tomorrow morning jump down into our own comment section and just put some sort of addition to this, because this is being recorded literally. The game against the Blue Jackets starts in 15 minutes from when
Yeah.
we're recording this, because this is when we got to do this, and maybe things will look a little bit different going into tomorrow. But before we move on to something you mentioned, how have you felt about the penalty kill so far?
Pretty solid. It feels like we're pressuring at the right points. I know in our live watch along again, there was a lot of recognizing when a player is struggling with the puck against the boards. You attack. You do not
Yep.
give them time to breathe. You do not make them feel relaxed. You pressure. And people who have watched the Red Wings for the last 8 years or so, you recognize that. You recognize what that looks like when the PK is playing ultra aggressive against you. It's been the strategy against the Red Wings for way too long now. It doesn't work anymore. We've gotten significantly better, but it's choosing the opportunities and times when you have to attack a puck carrier to take away time and space and make them make a mistake. And someone who has done that really well for us, Sherratt. Sherratt has done a great job of understanding when to attack the guy in the corner and when to attack the guy on the boards. There have been a couple times that I've given him his kudos for that. This team is obviously not afraid to put the body on the line. We've seen that out of them through the Dead Wings 2.0. They've always had the heart to put the body out there. So they've been doing that and have 75% after 2 games just against New Jersey and Tampa. I think you have to take that. Like,
Yep.
it's only 2 games, but it's also 75%.
It's also against 2 teams that have a power play that is
Yes.
it's pretty deadly. Like, they
Yeah.
have offensive power on both teams, and we saw it with Hughes in the first game, where it honestly, you really ended up losing that game because he had a couple "I'm better than you" moments that we couldn't recover from.
Yep.
When it came to beating Tampa, the team just rallied. The team looked good, and maybe it's a little
Our
bit
depth.
of well, the depth, but maybe there's a little what I said of that. There's something about the opening week, and there's something about the opening night where it doesn't matter who's playing who. There's just something different there. But Ottawa beat Tampa the very next day, so you can either say it's because they played back to back, but that's hockey, or you can say maybe beating Tampa isn't as tough as it. Who knows? Maybe they're going to be
Without
more competing
Vasilevsky.
with us. Yeah, but that's 4 months, so you kind of have to just accept that that's the team that's the team for a good chunk of the year.
Yep.
So it's almost hard to cite. If he's out for the whole year, you can't keep citing Vasilevsky, because that's the team as it's going to be for
Yep.
3 or 4 months. So that might end up being, if Tampa's not as elite as maybe they looked when they started off the season, maybe we're going to be more competing with them in Ottawa in the standings when we get into the deeper part of the season. Or the other option, which I prefer, maybe teams like Detroit and Ottawa might be a little bit better than early projections.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to goaltending, maybe.
All right. Goaltending. If you look at the stat line, you're going to be surprised by what we say, because that stat line is not good. What was it, like 857? Can you confirm that for me? I believe almost like a sub 860, because we're playing relatively well defensively in our zones. We're not giving up a ton of shots in our zone, but it's high chance opportunities that we keep giving up. And Huso is coming up clutch. He is, I would love to see advanced stats on it, but I would have to imagine his saves over expected has to be okay. I know that there have been a couple weak ones. Like, I know you don't like to give up the one that Stammer scored over the glove. It's a beautiful shot, but you don't like to give that one up. There's just no stat for his clutchness. It always felt like when we needed him to make a save, he was doing
He
it.
bailed out his teammates more than once. 863 on the season across the 2 games.
Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, I was off just
I
a
think,
little bit.
and it's like just over 3.5 per game, which you're not gonna win a ton of games with the 3.5, but minuscule sample size. So
Yeah, right now the best way to describe this team is volatile. High offense.
If you want something to be excited about, something we just put in our Discord, feel free to join the Discord. Links in the description if you'd like. Kosa and Hutchinson have both had starts for the Griffins. And if you need something to be excited about, just in terms of goaltending or the future, both won their game. Both gave up 2 goals. And Kosa had a 9.53. Hutchinson had a 9.52. Both coming up with over 40 saves.
That's big.
So both of them early, again, the tiniest of sample sizes, but it could be the opposite. They could have gotten lit up. Instead, they made a ton of saves. So, I mean, we were saying that Kosa was not looking like he had got better. Hopefully that looks like something that could turn into maybe this is the year for either one of them or both of them to shine in the AHL.
Yep. And tonight, before, or after this recording, before this upload, we will have seen Reimer play against Columbus. Columbus, a team that you're hoping your defense is a little shirt up and you have a strong performance out of your goalie. I don't think that they're any crazy offensive powerhouse. This should be an opportunity for Reimer to come in and do exactly what we need him to do. If you're getting 2 games out of Huso and 1 out of Reimer for the entire year, I think that just about comes out to be that like 55 to 30 ratio that we were looking for going into this year, like the 50-35 that we think is going to be critical to Huso's success here. Not putting that entire weight of an entire season on him. He's not going to be your bell cow goaltender like the other big names across the league. But yeah, I'm hoping Reimer can show up and do a fine job. I think he's capable of it. We've seen him in the last few years be able to do that, but really you're just hoping that the defense doesn't keep putting him in the positions that we put Huso in.
Yeah, we'll jump in the comments and kind of give our thoughts as a quick reaction to how this Columbus games goes. But I believe Columbus is playing their backup, Martin.
Yes.
I believe, yeah. So Spencer Martin's in net, who looks like he's played in 1 game and gave up 2 goals. I don't know if he filled in for. He doesn't have a full game in him. He doesn't have a win or a loss. So I don't know if he just jumped in part way for someone else.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So the stats on him are non-existent really, but he's supposed to be their backup. So Reimer going in, this is the team's opportunity. It could be a high-scoring game if neither of the backups really show up. But we'll discuss that more if you guys want to go in the comments and give any thoughts on what you thought of the Columbus game. Obviously, we in this moment haven't seen it yet, but we will by the time you guys see this. Once again, don't forget to subscribe. We're going to do some more watch-alongs this week. So if you want someone to watch the game with, and you just so happen to want that someone to be us, come on back here for either of the 2 games coming up this week. And we'll hang out, watch the game, talk Red Wings together.
All right. And I also just want to lay dibs if Deportability ever gets invited to hit the horn at the Red Wings game. I get to hit it first. Bye.
I get to open it.
Deal.
I got to take something. You already did the button.
True.
Na, 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 na.
Na, 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 na.